Here's my solution, and it's very simple. Unmask. Join the police academy. Wear a badge. Then you can catch all the crooks you want, and I'll sing your praises on this very show.
The police aren't doing that great these days,
How that would
GG.
place his loved ones in danger? Come on. You can't convince me that guy has any loved ones.
Not anymore, I know it. You prick. Man, me died, you bastard. Hello.
We have an active bomb threat. Location is north end of China.
We're here. What's Spider-Man? And you know why we're here? Well, I mean, really, we're just here to talk about the Avengers. And because Spider-Man's in the Avengers, and the Avengers isn't out yet, and this is the most modern Marvel game ever.
Avengers.
Oh, sorry I'm late.
Then I'm playing it. So I'm gonna get right into it. This is the voiceover with thumbs. And my first official review. Granted, it's of a beta. But perhaps one of the best betas I've ever played. And my brother also agrees with that. We're talking about the Marvel's Avengers beta. Now I'm just gonna play. I'm just gonna talk about the game, the gameplay, what we got in the beta, and whether I think is worth it. Like paying £50, or I don't know how much that is in dollars or whatever currency you come with. You use in your country. But I think the first two people I'm going to talk to you about are Thor and Captain America. And that is only because from what I got to play, you only got to play as Thor and Cap once each. And that was during, the very famous bridge scene, the bridge part.
Let's make this quick. Secure the bridge. Those weapons can't get into the city.
You set him up. File, knock him down.
Thor, what's your status?
That I'm sure has been in like every trailer. So there's the bridge fight, and I'm gonna also put a disclaimer, like 90% of the footage that I'm gonna be using in this, I took a screenshot of myself playing, but apparently the ones from Thor never happened, so I don't have any of my playing as Thor footage, so I'll need to steal some of that off. Well, I'll probably just show you parts of the trailer for Thor to make him look even more heroic than he already is. He's a god, he doesn't need to look heroic. But from the 2 minutes that I got of playing Thor, who by the way is my favourite superhero, he always has been. Well, at one point Captain America was, but then certain things happened. But Thor has always been my favourite superhero, and I've been into superheroes for a long time, not just because of, the the Marvel Universe, the MCU, that has become a thing these days, but Thor's my favourite, basically. And my first impressions of Thor was actually that he controls amazingly. I've not written great notes. You know what I've spoke about before, the notes I take are a joke. I don't get anything done from notes. But basically, Thor, he can throw a hammer. Kidding. But you can throw your hammer and also beat people up whilst you've not got the hammer. Not got the hammer. I don't know. I'm not Norwegian. But yeah, it felt like the way he controlled, the way he maneuvered was it was smooth. Beating up bad guys took like 2 seconds. Like one punch, they were down. And then I'm quite sure it was the right bumper. I don't know. There was a move where you got to like basically just like summon lightning with your hammer and just like bam, 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 down on the ground and take out lots of enemies. That was amazing. Just being able to control lightning and thunder like that.
Wait, is that Thor?
Holy crap, Thor! Where the hell did you come from?
I was serving the commoners when it started raining bolts of metal from the skies.
It is unbelievably good to see you.
A bit dramatic, don't you think?
It doesn't matter. He's here now.
That's why Thor's amazing. That's why he's one of the best superheroes out there. On to Captain America, my ex-favorite superhero. Again though, like I wasn't exactly looking forward to Cap playing as Cap, but I don't know, he was very surprising. Like when the shield ricochets, it bounces off absolutely everything and just takes out what's in its path. And it's really cool. And the way you can roll behind enemies with shields, you just kind of like flip air them. Very interesting. It's a good way to get around the guys with shields, because from what I found, the guys with shields were very annoying if you didn't have like a decent character that could get over them, which pretty much all of them can do, but you know. And there was an attack where you could jump and just plow your shield right into them, and honestly,
I'll get back to you. Do you read?
I had a lot of fun playing as Cap, and to be honest, I can't wait to play as both Thor and Captain America in the game when it is finally out in like 5 days or something. I don't know. It's the 29th right now. And then we're going to talk about first the Hulk, because you get the most gameplay with the Hulk, I think, and as Bruce Banner, and I think it's very interesting the way they went about this beta. Like, I've never played a beta that had this much in-depth detail or just storyline. Like, demos don't normally let you play that much of a game, and then here Marvel's Avengers comes and just knocks that out the window and lets you play as basically, apparently you could get up to like what, level 15, I think I heard people say. From what I saw, you could, like, if you finished the proper main bit of like couple of missions of the beta, and then you could go on to further do wee side missions, but also explore that area as well as doing side missions in that area. But you couldn't go back onto the ship, but like once you finish the main story. But there was so much detail for a demo of a game. There was so much to it. And playing as the Hulk, when you get to go through that wee bit, like, you know, when the demo's over and the Avengers are disassembled and Cap's dead, you know, because shocker. But maybe we won't get to play as Cap in that game. Ever thought of that? Kidding. But yeah. Walking, when you get to the part where you're walking through the woods with Kamala, who is Miss Marvel, you get to go through a part where you like briefly get to play as Bruce Banner instead of the Hulk, and it's a different aspect of the game. I wasn't expecting to just walk through the forest with Kamala trying to find what's his name, Jarvis. I kind of got maybe The Last of Us vibes, but then when he turns into the Hulk, I got God of War vibes. You know, there's just this big muscly guy with his tiny child, but instead it's the Hulk and Kamala. Big stretch hands.
Hey. We good? Okay. We're cool. I guess. Oh man. team didn't just arrive. They've set up shop. We've got to find Jarvis and get out of here.
But I thought it was a really interesting part of the game. And then when you actually like go into the mission, and I think it was something about Tundra. Yeah, you get to do like your first mission as with Bruce or the Hulk and Kamala, Miss Marvel. And like you're in this big wilderness area, which to me it looks very open area for a Marvel game. That's so different. I don't remember the last game where you got that. Except for Spider-Man, leave me alone. Okay, maybe a lot of Marvel games give you open areas, but one that's this detailed, one that is this well done. The scenery is lovely. Just everything about this game. The companions interact with you and each other. They talk to each other. You also, by the way, if they're sticking to this, you get to bring 3 other superheroes with you. 3! So you can be the Hulk and have Cap, Thor, and Kamala walking about you. That's overpowered as fuck. There's no need for it, but it's amazing. There's no need for it, but I'm in for it. But yeah, it is very open, and it's just they've went into a lot of detail, and it's beautiful detail. I like the wee light trail that you can pick, that especially if you're in an open area, there's like, I'm sure you press up on the D-pad and it like shows you a light trail, kind of like in Fable, of where you're meant to go, so that you can just kind of keep track of where you are, where you're supposed to be going. Because I did notice that in that kind of big wooded area, that it is kind of hard to get lost or distracted, basically, because there's lots to do. Even in the city, because I done a mission in the city and I wanted to just show off, see what Marvel and Square Enix were doing with their city scenery, urban scenery. And honestly, even that was beautiful. Like, I prefer wilderness to cities, but this was really nice city. The lighting was lovely. You could Spider-Man it about on the lamppost. I know I've totally went off the first mission. I don't know. Ugh, fuck it. I'm just gonna keep talking. I'm just gonna keep going for it. I'm just gonna review it and tell you what you need to know. But when you're going about places, I think it's cool that Jarvis tells you that there's useful things nearby, like chests and stuff, so you can get armor on that for your companions, which also is in the style of Destiny. Like your armors and weapons and, well, whatever you've got. I don't like Destiny, and I'm sorry if you don't like that opinion. I'm not a massive fan of, MMOs. Not my thing. It's not my style. Unless it's ones with swords and shields, but that's different. I kind of do like that you get different armors, you can break armor down to get components and stuff. I suppose it is interesting, like the mechanics of it all. It is very cool. It is blatantly just Destiny's style, but it's interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing how much modification you can do with your armor, if it's going to look different, and if it makes any parts of your outfit look different or that. I didn't notice it in the beta, but maybe I just wasn't paying attention that much. I also thought it was very, 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 very cool that you can get revived by your companions. Now, I won't lie, in the beta, I did get knocked down a couple of times, because sometimes I'll get onto the camera angles in a second because they were annoying. And your companions can revive you. They're AIs, like they're NPCs. In other games, you just die normally if you get knocked down. You just die. But in this, they can revive you. That's so useful. Do you know how cool it is when you're dying and you've just got like the Hulk standing above you? He's just like, it's alright, come on, buddy. Or more of a grunt. He's like, huh, huh, you know, because he's a caveman. But what I also did really like was the leveling up system. I like that it shows you a preview of the attacks, which kind of reminds me of an old Matrix games that I used to play. I think it was for the PlayStation 2. But yeah, I think it was for the PlayStation 2, before you unlocked it so you could see what you're getting, so you can see what it does. Instead of games that are just like, oh, level up, trust me, you're gonna love it, and then it's like a pure shite shot, like, I don't know, something like wanting to stab a dog! I don't know, and then it's something stupid like throwing a playing card or something, I don't know. You know, my shade to Gambit, right? Like, some of the attacks are really cool, but I really hope that those trees extend when the actual game is out, so that isn't just all you're getting. Because they said in the like trailer that not one superhero for everybody that plays it is going to be the same. But then, as I said, if that is all the leveling up there is, then eventually you're going to get to a point in a game where everybody's character will be the same. So there's not a lot of room for diversity there. But again, it was just a beta, so I'm hoping they really do improve on that. In that room, like when you get to go into, is it the Chimera? Is that the name of the ship? I don't know. But when you get to go into that is really cool. It's really cool. It's really, really interesting because it's giving me kind of like BioWare game vibes, like Dragon Age and Mass Effect. Especially Dragon Age Inquisition because of the war table. I think it's called the war table. Aye, it's called the war table because it's called a war table in Dragon Age Inquisition. Like, I think it's really cool that you have all these areas you can go to, and then you've got this one area where you can go, and I am assuming talk to all your companions separately. I'm hoping you'll be able to build like relationships with all the different superheroes, like Black Widow, Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, whatever. So I do think it's really cool that when you're just farting about the ship, probably doing upgrades or going to the harm room, which we'll talk about in a second, it's really interesting that there's different rooms for your superheroes. So they can have their alone time, but you can interrupt that and do your nosy and ask them questions. Hopefully. But yeah, as I said, the war table really gives me Dragon Age Inquisition vibes, but then I'm not shitting on it. I like it. It's a really good mechanic so that you can pick your mission for there instead of just going into the open world. It's cool and I'm liking it. But the harm room, like I can't remember what the letters stand for, but it's basically a simulation room where you can simulate battles, obviously. But that place was awesome. I just think it's cool that you got to play more as Iron Man when you first go into the harm room, but just being able to go in there as a different character so that you can kind of learn the ropes a wee bit more and get the hang of them, because some of the characters are a bit difficult to work with, I think, especially the Hulk and Iron Man, and I'll get to that in 2 seconds. I'm fangirling about the whole game instead of talking about the characters. But I'm really impressed with the ship already, and that's just like a building block of the game. It just gets better and better and better off that ship. And yeah, basically the harm room is really awesome because it lets you refine your skills as, say, Iron Man, and being able to shoot and fire at the same time. It really helps with that. And what do I talk about next? Pausable cutscenes, by the way, also major plus. Pausable cutscenes, do you know how amazing that is? Games that you can't pause a cutscene should be illegal. I'm sorry if I need to go pee or answer a phone call or something during an important cutscene, but I don't want to miss it. Big major rant on unpausable cutscenes. Honestly. But this game has it. Another major building block. No, I'm kidding. It's not a building block, but it is a major plus for this game, honestly. And also, just to talk about like wee things that isn't characters, I really do love the character customization and like the fact that it's a beta and you could buy different skins for your characters already. Like you could buy like a stupid hat for Kamala, I think, but like lots of different costumes as well, and some for the Hulk. There was really cool ones for Iron Man. I didn't get any footage of them because I'm an idiot and forgot. But they're there. You can get them. I like the customization. Honestly, I think good customization in a game can really make or break it because I love it. But I'm talking about the skins. Like emotes, honestly, I'm sorry if you don't agree with this, but emotes in a game can take two fucks to itself. I don't want my character to be able to dance or wave or floss like a tit. I'm sorry. I don't care. I don't care. It's stupid. I don't need it. It's the Avengers. I don't need the Hulk to wave. I'm not going to be waving at anything. I'm going to be pummeling things, not waving at them. Anyway, rant over about emotes. Customization though. Great! With in-game money as well, by the way, not real life money. I know one complaint I do have about the game, other than the controlling for certain characters that I'll get onto in a second, but is the camera angles. Sometimes, like, if you're indoors in a certain place, like, you could have, like, the kind of capture the flag missions where you'd go to, like, point A, point B, point C and try and capture them. The enemy tries to capture them as well, blah, blah, blah. The camera angles in those buildings could be annoying sometimes, especially if you're the Hulk or if you are Captain America with the Hulk Buster suit. Honestly, just half the time you're so in close to your character with the camera that you don't know who you're trying to fight, or there's a pillar in your way or something, so you don't know where you're aiming. So it's kind of annoying. But honestly, like, that's not even a big complaint. Like, that's easily avoidable. Just don't do missions indoors. Just don't do the inside missions. Stick to the outsides and you're fine. No, but it's not that big a deal. Like, it's not the worst thing of a game I've seen. So, and now I'm gonna talk about playing as the Hulk, Iron Man, Black Widow, and Kamala. Miss Marvel, you might know her as. We're going to talk about, I think you see Iron Man in the trailer first, don't you? Perhaps not. But we're going to talk about Iron Man. Now, when you're jumping into the Iron Man gameplay and he's like flying in the bridge and you take over when he's flying and then you're like having to go pew pew with his mad horn cannons.
Whose bright idea was it to outfit shield trucks with turrets? Tony! All right, fine.
What's going on down there, Tony?
Oh, nothing. Everything's just peachy. Just hoping these guys don't have... They take it back. They've got pulsar tanks.
That is, and I've spoke to a couple of friends about it as well, like, that is so, the controls for it, trying to fly and shoot, they really need to refine that, I think. Gaming these days, I don't know, I was kind of disappointed with the handling of Iron Man in flight. I don't know, that might just be me, but I have heard a couple of people say that, so I'm sorry, I'm not saying I absolutely hate Iron Man, I just hope that before the game's out that they refine the controls for him flying and shooting, or else I'll need a lot of time in the harm room to refine those skills. And see, when you're like, there's those boxes that you can smash for stuff to buy things for components and that, Iron Man cannot punch those boxes unless you shoot them. It's really easy to just go beep and shoot it, but when you're trying to fucking punch it, I took a whole screenshot just of me blasting past it every time I tried to punch it because of his stupid jump jets. Now that is annoying. The boxes need a hit marker or something so that he can lock onto that and punch it instead of just zooming past it. It's crazy stupid. Other than those things though, like, see the man shooting them, he does the kind of shooting that it doesn't film. He's like pure doing all the moves, shooting and all that, under the leg and all that. he might as well. But honestly, other than flying and fighting and shooting and... No, I'm kidding. But I did really like playing as Iron Man. Don't you worry. And then the Hulk. We're gonna move on to the Hulk. Who's great at smashing the boxes. He's great at smashing everything. This is kind of the Hulk's thing. Is smashing. And it's just smashing everything. I really obviously loved playing as the Hulk, because this is like the first time since like what, the PlayStation 2 or something? Maybe 360. I'm not too sure when the last Hulk game was out, but the Hulk doesn't get a lot. Like, he always just gets cameos. And it's like, give the Hulk some time and some limelight. But he's in the limelight in this game, let me tell you that. He's amazing. When you've got rage mode, and basically, like, I think you hold in the right trigger or something, and that just boosts every power you have. Oh, Jesus, honestly, is overpowered sometimes. I mean, it's the Hulk, so that's what you're wanting, innit? And also, you can pick other people up and smash other people with people. If that isn't what you want in a game, I don't know what is. And his special attacks, like, I think the left bumper is like him banging on the ground in that. I think the right bumper is him dashing forwards and basically just smashing things. And then the two pressed together is him doing his big mad Hulk clap, like pa-boom.
Built around the original archive. Everything's new.
That's amazing. Or if you're in front of like a giant mech or something, like instead of doing the dash forward, he just leaps onto them and starts pummeling them.
I can see you fighting him.
Playing as the Hulk is just, it's amazingly fun. I honestly got some amount of joy out of playing as the Hulk, and I don't think I'll get sick of it. So I'm really looking forward to getting more time as playing with the Hulk. And then I'm going to talk about Black Widow, because I'm leaving Kamala to last, because she was the one I was more intrigued about. But Black Widow, now let me tell you, when you have a team, like as I said, you can have 3 companions, and once you've kind of finished the main story of the beta, you get to go to different locations just to get a feel of things, get a feel of gameplay, and different styles of gameplay, and different characters. I honestly thought, if you went Black Widow, and you have Kamala, Iron Man, and the Hulk following you around, you're gonna get outshadowed about her. Because you have someone who's radioactive, someone who's maybe, again, slightly radioactive with giant stretchy limbs, who's basically Mr. Fantastic, but maybe cooler. And then you've got a guy in a mech suit, who is really cool, obviously. But like, all Black Widow is a spy. A really, really good spy. But a spy. That's all she is. But honestly, she held her own in the game, and I thought it was cool. She has a grapple hook to get up high. Loved that. I love a grapple hook. And she used it to, like, you can use that on lampshades as well. Lampposts, to be like a monkey. So that was good. And also, like, when she can go invisible. But if your other companions are about you, they all go invisible too. That is awesome. That is really cool. How awesome is that? You don't even need to be playing as Black Widow to be invisible.
Coward.
What's the matter? Don't like surprises?
I think it's like her super move that kind of combines her two staffs things. Now, I just thought that was kind of rubbish at first, but see, when you actually get into it, man, she does get really strong with that stuff. It is really cool. And it was, from what I thought, it was really good with the guys with shields, like when it's combined into the one staff. I thought that was really cool. I did like it. I thought it was kind of like, obviously it's not the Hulk, but it was fun to play as Black Widow. And also her gunfire is also pretty rapid. I love that. Like, she was just like, it was like an assault rifle, but 2 pistols. It was great. Well, it's probably automatic pistols or something. I don't know. The combat is really fun. It was easy. It was good to play as Black Widow. It did kind of surprise me, if I'm honest, because you get other characters like the Hulk and Kamala in that. So I wasn't expecting to love Black Widow like I did, but I did. You know what? I'm going to talk about Kamala, and then I'll talk about how they all have their flaws. But talking about Kamala, I didn't think, as I said, you went really in depth into this demo, and I did not think that you would have got so much free roam in this. But you did. And I didn't think you were going to get to play as Kamala, or Krala, as I thought she was called at the beginning. But Kamala, I didn't think you'd get to play as her. Well, not as much as you did, anyway. When you have your powers, like, I think it was the right bumper, is basically you're just magnifying your hand by like 20 times and high-fiving people in the face is amazing. It is so fun. And the fact that she can also Spider-Man on lampposts, but with giant stretchy hands. It's amazing. She's Spider-Man, but with her hands. They're so stretchy, and instead of throwing rocks like the Hulk at enemies, she just throws her fist.
That helps.
It's just, I've said in my notes that she's basically a stretchy Hulk, and that's all it is. If the Hulk and Mr. Fantastic had a baby, it would have been Kamala. Just saying, I'm just putting that out there. Let me know what you think. She can also grow in size. I actually forgot about that. When you do her superpower, left bumper and right bumper. She can grow. And she basically brings out the Hulkbuster. But it's her. She is every superhero in one. She has no problem smashing the boxes as well. Just putting that out there. I also forgot to mention that the dodging with Hulk isn't amazing, but that's, a whole other kettle of fish. But yeah, one of my first impressions with Kamala during the trailers, I wasn't too intrigued, but I think that was genuinely just ignorance, because I didn't know who she was. If I'm honest, I didn't know who Miss Marvel was, or I didn't know who Kamala as Miss Marvel was. I kind of fell away for the MCU a few years back, so didn't know who she was. So I was more concerned about playing as Thor, if I'm honest. I just want to play Thor. I'm not saying I don't like her, or ever didn't like her. I wasn't too fussed about her. And then once you get into that facility and you get to play as Kamala, I was blown away. Honestly, just being able to grapple hook with your own hand, high-fiving people in the face, enlarging yourself like 3 times the size. It was amazing. There is not one part of Kamala that I don't like, but Kamala can dodge. She can jump, and she has long, stretchy legs, so she can jump even longer. It's great. So much length. She covers so much distance. In the space of 2 jumps, because she's stretchy. It's amazing. Honestly, best character in the game so far, and that's just for the demo. That's just a couple of hours of gameplay, not even a couple of hours of gameplay of a demo, and I'm blown away with Kamala. So I really can't wait to see what she does and see what potential she has, see what powers you can unlock for her. Well, that goes for everybody actually. I can't wait to play as everyone and see how far their skill trees go. Hopefully they go further in the full release game. As a whole, I'm going to sum this up. I'm going to finish because I'm sick of talking. I'm joking, but I'm going to wrap this up. It's fangirling about Marvel's Avengers. But honestly, do you want to know if it's worth putting your money into this game? Honestly, I think yes. I think 100% yes. There's gonna be flaws like Iron Man not being able to punch a box, maybe not getting the hang of flying and shooting, and Hulk not being able to dodge, or I don't know, something stupid. But what game doesn't have its flaws? You know, every game has its flaws. It's the gamer. I'm kidding. I don't know. They're not enough to put me off it. I think it's genuinely one of the best betas or demos I have ever played. And I am so buzzing for this game to come out. I'm sure it's the 4th of September, so very, very, very soon. And I can't wait. As I've said, there was so much to do in the demo. I can't believe how open it was. I'm really looking forward to seeing the open areas in the game. I'm looking forward to seeing all the areas, what they do with them. And apparently, I've heard that Ant-Man's going to be in it, so that would be awesome. If that's not worth it, I don't know what is. And if you buy a PlayStation, which is kind of shitty, you get Spider-Man. That is kind of shitty. Like, I know it's a whole Sony thing, but like, come on to fuck. If you don't have a PlayStation, that's not fair. But I wasn't expecting for you to have so much freedom in the game, in the demo, and you did. Those extra missions at the end, you can play them as many times as you want. You can level up as much as you want. I don't know if it crosses over to the main game. The fact that you can get a good feel for it, for the different game styles as well, is just really cool, so that by the time the game's out, you'll know what you're doing. Or, for the most part, anyway. So you can just kind of fire into it and have fun. Because, boy, you're going to have fun playing this game. But yeah, that's me done. The last thing I have to say about this is that Square Enix, thank you. And whoever and everybody else that helped put this game together, you just didn't have to go that hard, but boy, you did. Honestly, I cannot tell you how excited I am for the release of this game. I might pre-order. Maybe I already have. You never know. I hope this is a good review. I hope it's made up your mind. It's made up my mind. I want to buy it. Do you want to buy it? Yeah, you do. Because I've convinced you. Because it just sounds so good. You want to play a game with the Hulk and Mr. Fantastic's love child. Who wouldn't? I do. Jokes aside. Genuinely excited. And as Square Enix are one of my favourite companies for games. So I'm so looking forward to see what they've done with a Marvel game. So see you on the 4th of September. I'm not going to record it on that day, but I might play it on the channel, just so you know. It might replace Halo 2. I don't know. It won't. But this is my first game review. Technically, game demo. But still, first review. Let me know what you think. Please, down in the comments if you like. And just like the video, subscribe. That garbage, you know. Come back for more. I hope you're having a good one, wherever you are. Day or night. And until next time, thumbs is out of here.
Let's try this again.